Hi and welcome to 3 Minutes On. This week we have folk musician Harry Harris talking to us about folk music.
So today I'm going to talk about folk music and try and kind of get away from the idea that folk music is all kind of tweed jackets and ye olde English and fiddles and things like that. What do people think of when they think of folk music? So I think that they think of kind of one of three things. So the first thing that I think people think of is sort of countercultural 60s folk music, so things like Bob Dylan or Pete Seeger, or even sort of going further along, people like Billy Bragg. The second thing would be sort of traditional music, so jigs and reels and sort of like tunes like that. Twee, but nice things that are kind of handed down. And the third thing people think of when they think of folk music is Mumford & Sons. But then it gets a little bit more complicated because you have all these sort of subgenres of folk music. So you get things like anti-folk, people like the Mouldy Peaches or maybe the Mountain Goats. It's kind of spare and acoustic, but also it's sort of recorded to sound deliberately amateurish. And you get indie folk, so indie folk would be Bright Eyes, Iron Wine, M Ward, Joanna Newsom. Folky in a sense, but also a lot more contemporary, sort of different narratives, kind of a bit more edgy, maybe a bit more punk, and a bit more commercial in appeal, I guess. And then you also get like folktronica, so that's like folk music with electronic instruments. It's a minefield, basically, and like I technically am a folk singer and I still don't really know what's going on, so I don't know how anyone else sort of can sort of navigate their way around it. Louis Armstrong, his famous quote was, "All music is folk music. I ain't never heard a horse sing a song." Louis Armstrong, obviously not what one would recognise as a folk musician. He's like a famous jazz musician, but jazz could be said is a folk art. It's a uniquely American art. It's a uniquely African American art. It's a synthesis of European classical music and the blues, which came out of like plantations and the cotton fields, and similar to folk music, passed down through this kind of oral tradition. In a similar kind of quote, the rapper Ice-T, in his documentary The Art of Rap, was describing the origins of rap, said that, and I'm paraphrasing here, rap when it began, hip-hop when it began, didn't have commercial like aspirations. It wasn't begun as a commercial thing, it was begun as a folk art. Rap is folk music, that is what he describes it as. So if you follow that thread down, it's very easy to make the similar arguments for things like punk music, and things like even like grime music. They came out of like a way of sort of telling stories with the instruments that were at the disposal. Way back when, those were guitars, things that you could carry around, and now those small handheld instruments are in laptops or like drum machines. It's folk music not as a sound, but as an intention or an ethos or like a way of communicating something about the people who are telling the music, I guess.
Thank you, Harry. If you'd like to speak for 3 minutes on something, email amy@3minuteson.com, or if you've got an idea for a video we should make, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe for new videos every Tuesday.